I'm Jim Gazzolo, former sports editor at the American Press. He's Heath Schroyer, men's basketball coach, athletic director, now media darling of the Lake Charles area. Coach, this is Polk Nation. This is your show, baby.
I love it. Hey, I just wanted to make sure we say, I mentioned this. Your color coding now is really, really taking a step up.
Well, you know what it was?
No, hold on. The light blue with the blue jeans, and you got the kind of, like, I'm proud of you, man. Like, if we go back to the first show compared to now, this is unbelievable. What a transformation.
I found the Garanimals section in the adult.
Did you really?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean,
I got the giraffe with the lion today.
You know, like Maury Povich and those people, they do like shows about transformations of people. We need to try to make a call and get you on there, man. This is unbelievable. I'm really excited about it.
Wow, that's just great. I'm sure people are tuning off as we speak.
What's up, baby?
Want to get into a lot of things with you. Another busy week for you, but the interesting thing about this week is the NCAA came down with their imaging rules. Is the NCAA just trying to stay ahead of the lawsuits in your mind, or are they just trying to?
I don't want to comment on the NCAA, but
why not?
It's to put it lightly, it is a different time in college athletics. We talked a little bit off the air, Jim, but I don't even know how I feel about it. It's, I'm on these calls now. Was on one last week with all of the ADs in the state, just talking about where this is going to go, and it's a different time, and college athletics is going to change, and it's changing right before our eyes.
As an athletic director, you're seeing kids basically take over their programs now. Mm-hmm. They're holding some of them. They're going to hold them for ransom, saying, I'm going to go if I don't get playing time. Mm-hmm. All these things, the transfer portal. Is there any going back? Or is this is the way it is, the Wild West?
I think it's going to be really hard. I think if we ever did go back, it would have to be something so big that would happen that everyone has to kind of reevaluate, but I don't see that happen. I think the Pandora's box is open. I think that it's probably full steam ahead right now.
Last week, you guys had a press conference,
a
little bit of a dog and pony show. Everybody out there.
The dog and pony show was you asking all the questions, but go ahead. So ask me some more. Okay. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to know, what was the response of the community after that? Because you guys rolled out a funding situation, very professional funding situation, kind of upgrading the school from where it has been and getting money. What's been the kind of response?
People have been so excited about it. I think the biggest thing is that people want to know the vision. They want to know where you're going and how you're going to get there. And then when we rolled out the McNeese Athletic Foundation, we had Claire on last week talking about it. People just have been so excited about it because, and again, we talked a little bit off the air, they're just happy that, we're moving in a direction where the Office of Advancement and Athletics, the foundation, the university is all going in one direction for the first time, honestly, in school history. So I think, we laugh all the time, but I truly believe we're going to change the world. I believe that we're going to change the trajectory of this university and this athletic program to places that it's never been before.
What about the talk of the Friday night? The Friday night concert in the parking lot.
People are excited. Obviously, we raised prices for tailgating.
People probably got excited about that.
Yin and yang. But they all understood. And the emails that I got, on a couple of the phone calls I got and responded to, they understand. At the end of the day, we haven't had a market adjustment in athletics, and let alone football, in over a decade. And the price of doing business has only gotten more expensive. But we're charging more, but we're giving more. The block party on Friday night where I can get, I'll have the coaching staff there for football and talk about, the upcoming game. We're going to have live band, beer trucks, music, all those things. Like it's going to be really, really fun. And I think the neat thing about it, and where I'm really trying to target, is the students. To try to keep the students here on Friday night.
Get them interested in everything.
That's right.
More than just getting to school and getting out.
Exactly. So get them, instead of going home or whatever, hey, I'm going to stay for the block party Friday night, and then I'm going to get up and go to the game on Saturday.
And hopefully you'll get more of them on campus to begin with, just to start the semester.
That's exactly right.
So about a year and a half not being on campus for the most part.
Oh, no doubt. The experience. It's all about the college experience. It's about the student experience. And I think that the Friday night tailgate, the Friday night block party is really, really going to aid us in that.
With that going on, obviously the selling of, you're offering more of a product. How important is it that not only do you win on the football field, but that the product, the first year especially, is successful?
Well, it's really successful. I mean, we said it in the press conference. I mean, with the new league and what we're going into, the coaches we have in place, I mean, for sure, there's an expectation to win. I've talked to Coach Wilson, and we want to compete for a national championship in football. We want to compete for NCAA tournament bids in women's basketball and men's basketball. And obviously, we're going to have Coach Kennedy on here momentarily. And I mean, I can't be more excited about what he's been doing and the direction that he's taken his program in a very, very short amount of time.
He's gone international on you.
I love it. I mean, you talk about the recruiting. I mean, our base. We got a pro. I'm just telling you, we got an absolute rock star, and he's going to be on here in a minute. But
we're going to talk to him in a minute here. We come back on Polk Nation.
Welcome back to Polk Nation. It's a pleasure to have Coach Kennedy. Welcome back to Polk Nation.
Thank you.
Wow, you've been busy, for sure, and we've read all about it. But tell Polk Nation, obviously, what you've been doing since you got here. Talk about your recruiting class, and it's been. We are so excited.
I'm excited too. Yeah, thanks for having me back. Been busy. Got back. A week after the press conference and introduction to Polk Nation, and got busy with our returners and had a couple workouts with them, and really excited about our returning class that we have coming back and the expectations of next year. But then got to work recruiting, and we've got 4 freshmen I'm really excited about coming in, and then we got 4 transfers as well. Using the transfer portal, we talked about the last time we were here, but using the transfer portal and getting some, I think, high-level student athletes that come in here, and they'll make a difference right away in what we do next year. But excited about them. The 4 transfers, you look at Zuzana, she came from Colorado. High-level guard. She played at New York Military Academy out of New York. Was recruited by Power Fives coming out of high school, signed at Colorado. She's going to come in and be, one of those players that it's going to be fun to watch. She can shoot from the outside attack. And then you look at, we went UNM, New Mexico. We had a transfer from New Mexico, Autumn. She's out of Denver, Colorado. Ranked 13th ESPN coming out of high school. We recruited her to Portland State, and she's one of those players that can make a difference as far as a post and guard. But she's going to help us right away as well. And then point guard out of Boise State, Christina from Spain. She gives us a little bit more experience at that point guard position. She played at a high level, Mountain West, where Boise State was the NCAA tournament team. And then I'm really excited about Des Hansen coming in from Portland State. Our best player, 3-time All-Conference. She was the player as a freshman that hit the game-winning shot to send us into the NCAA tournament. Really good, just a really good quality person. Besides the basketball part of it, and I think Cowgirl Nation was going to fall in love with her because she's one of those players that's dynamic. She's a triple-double when she steps on the court. And then you look at our freshman class. We've got Taylor coming from New Orleans. She signed early. Excited about her. Kaili from South Medford High School, one of the best high schools in the nation. Last year they were 30-0 before the state tournament. She probably would have been the state player of the year this year, but they didn't play.
Great program.
So, having her come in, she's just a solid player for us, too, as well. And then 2 international players. We have Maria coming from Spain, top 15 player in Spain, 2021 class. Just a tremendous athlete. 6'1", 6'2", can play probably 4 or 5 positions. I mean, she's that type of player. She's on their junior national team. She's going to help us right away. And then our 6'4" center coming from Perth, Australia, Emerson, who signed early with Portland State, and she got a full release. Top 20 in Australia, 2021 class. She's a dynamic player. Not only low post, but also she can step out and hit threes as well. So it's going to be exciting to watch.
Well, the question around town is, when did you become such an international program? I think more than anything else. 4 people from Europe or Australia.
Yeah.
Kind of changes the whole dynamic of the school because it's a different type of basketball. It's very athletic, very shooting, very fast pace. Obviously, selling is something, but how do you sell Lake Charles to foreign kids?
You know, I think we talked about the last time too. It's relationships, it's contacts, especially now in women's basketball and men's side too. But it's those connections that you have with the club coaches, the high school coaches, wherever they may be. And we can get players from all over the nation now. It's the brand that we're selling as far as McNeese and what we're going to be in the future and our facilities and the area. So we're excited about that, and that's kind of what I sold them on. But yeah, I had connections with all these players in some form. And it's players that I had in the past too, whether it was at Portland State or Southern Oregon, that made those connections. It was kind of amazing when you got into it and started recruiting these players, all the connections that they have to each other, as well as to their club coaches and the coaches that I know. So I don't want to say it was an easy sell, but what we're going with our program, I think it was, as far as getting these players at a high level. And we talked a lot too as far as the spring competing. That's really what we want to do, whether it's the returning players to high school or the transfers. We want to compete and get better. I told Coach here, during my interview that, my recruiting philosophy is our second team will win the league. And I firmly believe that, because if you have those types of players on your second team, it's only going to make your first team that much better, and you can win the league then.
Well, the thing is, Jim, is like, there's a couple things stood out, right? Talked about branding. We've talked about branding McNeese Athletics at a different level, and he talked about that. And then just think about the net that we were able to expand in recruiting that we've never done in women's basketball before. And that's the great thing about Coach. And I love it because he comes in and he's ultra aggressive. And I say it all the time, Jim, and you make fun of me, but why not? Why not Lake Charles? Why not McNeese?
Well, I make fun of you because you're easy to make fun of. When we come back, we're going to find out what the future holds for women's basketball in Lake Charles right after this on Polk Nation. We're back on Polk Nation with Lynn Kennedy, women's basketball coach at McNeese State, who I guess hit the floor running would be an understatement. Coach, one thing I noticed about your class and what the kids you're bringing in here, very versatile, can play a lot of positions, very athletic. Mm-hmm. Did you see that as a need to become more athletic? Because the last couple of years, McNeese, not as athletic.
Yeah, it was more style of play for us and what we want to, where we want to be next year, and to play fast, defensively too, as far as playing more full court and being more pressured up. You got to be more aggressive. You got to be longer. So we went with a little bit more height at our guard positions.
Yeah, there's a lot more height at the guards.
And our center positions too. So I mean, we've added, I think, 5 or 6 over 6 feet tall players that will help us, but they're not only tall, they're athletic, extremely athletic. They can all shoot it, and that's part of our style of play. So on defense, a lot of pressure, full court, traps, run and jump, that type of intensity on defense. And on the offensive end, it's really about first opportunity to score. We talk a lot about that, 10 seconds, shot clock. Really try, and that's the speed of the international game too. A lot of times it's a 24-second shot clock, so you're speeding it up. You're looking for that first opportunity to score, and if you're longer, more athletic, you're faster, you're in shape, that's going to be a difference in the women's game.
One thing is you bring Desiree down. Mm-hmm. A lot of obviously names don't really know. People don't know names that well, but how important is it to have somebody who's familiar with your program to be that person in the locker room to say, "Hey, I've been through this. Trust the system."
She's been through it. She's been to the NCAA tournament. She hit the game-winning shot. She's all conference. It's huge for us in our program and where we want to be next year going into next season. She's played high level. I mean, West Coast, she's known. Everybody on the West Coast knows her. Now, hopefully down here, everyone's going to appreciate her game. But it's going to help in the locker room. It's going to help outside, academically as well. Just the expectations for us in our program. She knows it all. She knows the ins and outs. And for her, she's a hometown girl in Portland. She was a small city, Rainier. It's a small town. I think her graduating class was like 30. So it's really, really small. And for her to make the trip down here says a lot about our program, our coaches that we have coming in, and her expectations of where she wants to be next year and where she feels like our program's going to be compared to Portland State, where we're an NCAA tournament team every year. So it's coming down here. She's going to be spectacular to watch. Like I said before, probably one of the best shooters I've ever had. And when you see her pass, I mean, it's unbelievable. She can make no-look passes like NBA guys.
And obviously, when you have a new coach coming in, you have to kind of establish the leadership within the locker room.
Yep.
But you have that already there because she's there.
Yeah, and I like our returners too. I like what they brought. As far as our workouts, we saw the difference in 2 weeks of workouts. The first day, eyes were wide open. They couldn't believe it. They're in shock. Just the style of play, it's completely different, and the intensity of practice. We were going through warm-up drills, and they're like, "This is more than we've done, for the last couple of years." And I said, "Well, now's the expectation of how we play, the style of play," and so that change over 2 weeks, we got better. And so I like the returners coming in. I like the pieces that we fit together as far as a recruiting class. And with Des, I think she kind of brings that all together because she can kind of be that foundation that we build on.
Did you find that the kids that stayed were looking to be coached harder, or were looking for that, or looking for a program that was more?
They want to win. They want to win. They want to be coached. They want to win. I like their coachability. They want to be taught. They were soaking it in. And that's what I was looking for as far as the returning players. And I like the mix that we have. I try to fit players as far as the transfer portal freshmen that will kind of fit, and we have good chemistry, because that's how you win in March. I mean, you can say talent, but those teams that win in March, they have the chemistry, they bring it together, whether it's 3 or 4 games in the tournament or whether you go to March Madness, that's how they win, is they have that chemistry.
Okay, so switch gears.
Yep.
All right. So now you're starting to get back into Lake Charles. You got yourself a house, haven't moved in yet. Your wife is here, Amy.
Yep.
What's the biggest thing that you fell in love with Lake Charles so far?
I think the people. I mean, we said it, but I think the people. It's just it's night and day, And we love Portland. It's changed the last couple of years, but
Sure.
we love Portland. But down here, everyone's so welcoming. They're so friendly. Things move at a slower pace, which
sure.
isn't bad. It's not a bad thing, but we're learning those things. But it's the people and how welcoming they've been to us and our family, and just the enthusiasm. I mean, I'm walking around town, going into stores, and they're so enthusiastic about women's basketball and what we're going to bring next year, and bringing home a championship. That's all we can talk about.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got the buzz going in the city.
Good.
We're so excited to have you. And the great thing, Jim, about having Coach here is he's a pro. Just from my standpoint, you're handing the keys to someone who's been there, done that. You've seen from the start what this guy's about, and I can't be more excited to have you here. You're going to kill it. I'm telling you, get your season tickets. This guy is going to win, and he's going to win quick, and he's going to win big.
Do I need season tickets?
Well, of course. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm going to charge you double.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Well, we get back on Poke Nation. Coach and I will finish it up right after this. We're back on Poke Nation. Coach, one of your best hires?
Oh, for sure. He's. I mean, I said it in the, when he was here. I said it before. I mean, he's a rock star. Cannot be more excited to have Coach Kennedy here. I mean, you think about the program where it was, the 2 hurricanes, all the things we've been through, and to get a sitting Division I head coach that has went to the NCAA tournament in 2019. Everywhere he's been, he's won. To come and rebuild this program, and he's going to take it to heights it's never seen before.
You guys are rebuilding a rebuild, actually.
For sure.
You're rebuilding on top of a rebuild in 2 years.
And I'll tell you this city will really, really support women's basketball. That's evident. But I'm telling you that there's no question in my mind that he's going to do things with the women's program that's never been done before.
Well, with the recruits, I don't think they've seen women's basketball yet like they're going to see.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
But they've always backed the Cowgirls, which is interesting because they've backed them more than they've backed the men's team.
They have in the past. And the other good thing about Coach, too, is he's just, and it's funny. And I say this about Coach Wilson, too, and obviously Coach Aiken and Lynn, is there's zero maintenance. He's a pro. He gets all of his stuff done. There's zero maintenance. He just comes, he recruits, he coaches, he's a team player. I mean, he's an AD's dream.
You're learning how to speak all the foreign languages now?
No, but the biggest thing I told him all the time is you have to watch, the food. I was surprised when I asked him, hey, what's the biggest thing that you fell in love with? Me, it was food, right? I gained 20 pounds when I came here. I haven't lost it yet. But the people, and he said it, the people make this place. This place is so special. I'm just telling you, Jim, it's unbelievable. I know you were from Chicago, but there's a reason why you're here too. And the reason why you stayed. Because it's the people. It's this place, Southwest Louisiana. It just grows on you. It becomes home.
Or you get a wife that does a good job. How's that for you?
You're crazy. I'm telling you, it's the best. I've lived all over the place. I've lived all over the place in this country. I've never seen a place that I've loved more and been I just feel such a quality of life here in Southwest Louisiana. It's special.
Well, in your 3 years, you've seen the worst. The worst that could happen happened.
For sure.
So nothing else can be as bad as what we've gone through.
For sure.
Which is interesting to see how it bounces back. I mean, how you guys bounce back, how the town bounces back. I think it's an opportunity for you guys to really become a staple of the town more than you've ever have been, because the town is looking for something to lead them out of this.
For sure. And, I've said it before that, McNeese, I mean, we're the soul, we're the backbone of this community. Of Southwest Louisiana, and athletics is the front porch of any institution, and I just think that we have an unbelievable opportunity. And when the hurricanes came, we talked about this before. I think last week, you and I, you go through so much emotion. You go through, okay, man, this is so down, and there's 6 feet or 6 inches of water, and all the stuff in the gym, and all the town. But then, for me, I started saying, what an unbelievable opportunity. We have a great chance to rebuild, rebrand, and you can't let this opportunity go to waste. And the great thing about the president, Dr. Roos, is that they had the same vision, they had the same mentality, and we're not going to let this opportunity go.
And that was the importance of playing football in the spring. I would imagine, was just to make sure that everybody knew you were back.
No doubt.
That because you miss a season, it's hard to come back for another season.
For sure. And we're very fortunate to live where we live. I mean, all across the country. You see some things, to me, it's just crazy. But I'm so thankful we live here. I'm so thankful that we have the president that we have, and Dr. Burkell, the leadership team with Dr. Roos. I mean, they're just phenomenal people, and they're just spearheading. I mean, we've come so far in such a short amount of time, and it's only the beginning. I'm just telling you, I've said it all the time. I know you're going to make fun of me.
Oh, yeah.
But the best days of McNeese athletics are right in front of us.
And the pom-poms come out at the end of the show. They always come out at the end of the show. But no, you're right. There's an opportunity. In chaos, there is opportunity.
No doubt.
And we had chaos.
No doubt.
Now here's your opportunity. And the school is trying to make the most out of it. Athletically, it's interesting because I think now a lot of people didn't accept that athletics could lead somebody out of problems. But now we're seeing that it can. And, we've all gone through it. We've gone through the shock, the depression, the anger, and now we're into the rebuild. And what better way to do it than to go European?
Oh, no doubt. No, and it was, again.
When are we going to see Europeans come play men's basketball here?
I have to talk to Coach Aiken. But I think you'll see that too. I think that the great thing about, and I know I said it before, the great thing about Coach Kennedy, and both of our basketballs, I mean, they're great people, and they're going to lead their programs. We have great head coaches within our department, and I'm just excited to.
So what are you needed for then?
I come talk to you. That's all I do. I just come here to get abused every week by you.
Abused? You talk about my clothes.
This is the best, probably the best week we've had. You haven't really been on my butt that much.
No, because you attacked me right off the bat.
You're on offense or defense? I decided to be on offense.
We'll be right back next week on Poke Nation.